Okay, let's begin our course for today. Okay, we're gonna dive into a little bit more about gradient and the masking tools. Okay, so get your laptops ready and yeah, let's begin. So I wanna well, I'll get to your C's first. Yeah, how, okay, let's settle down first and I'll begin, okay? Yeah, when you guys come in, be sure to like close the door. Yeah, if we have air conditioning and people walking with the mic going on. Okay, let's open up a new file and go to print A4 and all the others, just leave it as it is, create. Okay, here we have a new artboard, workspace rather. Okay, I want to dive into a little bit on the gradient functionalities and some of the tools regarding gradient. Okay, or I talked a little bit last week, so this will be pretty fast. So you want to probably, I want to make a rectangle out of the square tool here, and go to the gradient palette. Okay, so you want to click on that gradient, and just as I have mentioned, you want to probably click on one of the dots on the left to select a specific color. For example, here, I'll select an orange color. And on the right, I'll select on the black spot, okay, double click and select on the probably a reddish color, reddish purple, okay, to give that gradient look. Okay, so there's one thing, okay, I want to like make the outer rim, which is the stroke, none. I just want to have the gradient. So that's plain and simple. That's a solid gradient from orange to purple. Okay, so yeah, if you have a newer version, there's this AI generated tab floating under. So just pull that aside because we don't need it for now. And let's zoom in at it and take a look. Okay, so that's the gradient. Yeah, but I want to make another shape. Okay, for example, here, maybe a circle. Okay, so let's make a circle and then color that whatever color. Okay, maybe a blue color to give the scenario more contrast. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, the circle moves above the gradient, right? Yeah, so what if I want to move under the gradient? Of course, you could go to layer or just right click, go to arrange and send to back or send backward, all the way back to send to back. Okay, so that would go underneath the gradient. So why do I want to do this? Okay, I want to like show you two methods that you could make either side of the gradient transparent. Okay, but there's something you have to be careful. Okay, so ordinarily, when we're designing stuff, let me make a copy of this gradient again. So the newer versions, you could just go to, for example, this gradient here. Okay, double click at it, and then okay, of course this is CMYK, but there's this opacity. Okay, opacity tab. You could you click on the arrow. There's a drop down menu. Okay, so set it to 0. Okay, so now you're getting a gradient of purple to orange and then to transparent. Okay, so that's the one method you could do this. So if you look on the circle, it's like above the circle, everything it's nice. So let's make another gradient. Okay, with another method. I'm going to show you another method. This is the old method, but sometimes it's useful. Okay, so what you do here is you want to make another gradient. So Command C, okay, and then I want to paste on top. Okay, so edit, paste in front. Okay, so that's like overlaying gradients. So for that gradient, I want to probably set the colors to, okay, to black, and then the other one to white. Okay, so why do I want to do this? I have like two gradients, one a solid black to white, and then otherwise, well, let's reverse it. Okay, click reverse. So I want this side to be black and the other side to be white. Okay, so that's a gradient. It's above that solid purple to orange. Okay, so I want to like grab that black and white gradient. Okay, so I want to Command or Control X just to cut it. Okay, just in case you want to copy it first. Okay, copy, and then you probably want to cut it. Okay, so the object is cut. You only have the gradient, but it's still in your memory. It's still in the clipboard. Okay, so look for your gradient panel again. Okay, it'll say a transparent. So look for that transparent tag. Right. So for the transparency, you can see your object. If you have to click on it in order to see your object on the right. And there's another sort of like a square that says like none. Okay, so that's the mask for the gradient. Okay, so what we want to do is make mask. When you make mask, everything will be gone, right? But notice that this black area, you see, you can see the outer, you're actually editing on the masking area. Okay, if you click on the left, it will be shown in blue. You're editing on the solid object. So as for now, we want to edit on the masking area. Okay, so I want to click at that black area, and what I want to do is go to Edit, and then paste in front. Okay, so once I've done that, you can see, okay, the I have it wrong because I shouldn't have changed the. Let me switch things around. Yeah. So now I have like a gradient mask. Okay, so you can see the gradient on the solid color and the gradient mask. Okay, so if you look at the objects, okay, so these two look really similar. Okay, so I want to click on the object mode again, and then move that circle to see if you guys can spot the difference. Okay, so actually there's no difference, but I use two different methods. Okay, one is to just like the orange area, I click at it and then change the opacity to 0. Okay, and the other, you see, I still have a solid object, but I did a gradient mask, which does a same effect. Okay, actually, this used to be the old method, really old versions of Illustrator, in which you want to do transparent gradients. Okay, so this is pretty important. So, but why is it that you want to do this? Sometimes when you're designing, you can't just use, there are situations uh, I don't have any references for now, but there are certain stances in which you have to use uh, gradient masking in order to uh, complete this. Okay, for example, okay, what if I just want half of this to be gradient and then half of it is not? Okay, so all I have to do is go to the mask. Okay, the mask area, click on the object, and then roll down. I can, okay. So maybe I want to probably duplicate that object. Okay, wait, okay, this is not a good scenario, but well, you get the idea. So this gradient is actually uh, to have a masking. Okay, the white area is the place that, for example, for the mask, let me like have another. Oops. Let me duplicate the object on top again. Let's put that aside and command and copy. For example, this one, uh, if I want to have like for example, let's go to transparency again, and then have that copy and paste on top, and with another copy, paste on top, and then go to the gradient, which I want this to be black and white. Then I want to cut this mask, go to transparency, select the object, make mask, and then paste in place. Okay, so actually so this way you could actually like manipulate with the gradient masking. Okay, we can't really tell, but for example, if I use gradient, I could, okay, oh, you can't really tell, okay? So let's go back to, sorry, bad example, okay? For example, I don't have anything at the back. You click on the mask, okay? Mask area in order to see what is masked, what is not, okay? So the object is still there, but by moving the gradient mask, you'll be able to like move a specific, you know, area in case in which you want to mask. For example, if I move this circle above, I would go to my object mode again, move that circle above, and then move that there, and then go to the mask editing. And as you can see, I can move this at a specific area in which I want to mask and have a gradient. Okay. So that's masking, a little bit complicated. Okay. So let's put all these aside. Let me talk more about masking. Okay. So whenever you want to edit other object, you see I cannot select other object. You have to go back to object mode. Okay. So let's move all these. Let me talk just a little bit more about the gradient, some of the differences. Okay. So that's gradient, two different methods. Okay. So for this one, okay, you will figure, okay, sometimes when we have like a gradient, let's go back to gradient palette again. Okay, we have probably here, okay, this is let's switch that back to 100%, okay? See that orange, okay? And let's add in another color, which is black. I mean white, okay? So double click at the circle, make that white, okay? So let's copy that gradient and then paste it again, put it underneath, and then make that dot black. Okay, so these are the certain senses that you're looking at. Okay, this is a purple to orange to white, and this one is a purple to orange to black. Okay, but now I want to make a gradient such as this one, which where's the circle again? Okay, it's not this one, but circle. Okay, let's have two circles, just for you guys to see the difference. Okay. Okay. So as you look over here, I'll zoom in at it. You can see the purple gradient to orange, and then disappears, right? So it's alpha 0, opacity 0. Okay. But for black, you have to be careful. For example, I want to double click on I want to click on that black, and then it's the opacity. Even though I set it to 0, and then for this one, you should see nothing, right? Yeah, you're seeing nothing, but because it transformed to 0, but you can see the circle. Now I'm gonna click the one on top. And for the white, I want to change this to 0. Okay, so there is a difference if you look closely. Okay, although it's purple to orange to white, and then even though the white is 0, okay, because there's a transition from the orange to white, okay, so it will be different from the transition. Although also this black color over here is also opacity 0, but there's a transition in the middle from the orange to black. So even though the black or the white dot on these two different objects, which you think is the same, they still have like different effects. So if you look closely, okay, I zoom in at it, the one underneath will look a little bit gray. The one on top will look a little bit brighter. Because there's when you like have a transition between these colors, even though the dot on the left has an opacity of 0, okay, but it doesn't mean that when it does its transition, this dot over here, right, it's still affecting the colors. So because I have a black color on this object over here, you can see the grayness. So if I zoom out at it, I take the circles out, you can see there's a dark color, right? Even though that the color opacity is 0. So that you have to be careful, okay? So when you work at gradients. So of course, if I click over here, the transition, which is the small dot on top, you see, it still has effects, even though the black is 0. So you have to be careful when you work with gradients. Sometimes you think your colors is not clean enough. It might be that you have a bad transition in the middle, okay? So you see also the white. Yeah, see this these two in comparison, there is a difference, okay? So even though this is like 0 on both, it still did a transition effect on your gradients. So you have to be careful, okay? So for example, yeah, for this one, we work with the masking. So it'll be a little bit different, okay? So that you have to, work on the gradient on the mask, okay? So that's about it with the gradient. You have to be careful about what colors you select. Okay, let's talk about masking. What is masking? Okay, for example, if I have a circle in the middle, okay, this is a gradient circle, right? And I have another object, which is any shape. For example, maybe a shape of just a shape of just a shape of nothing, okay? Just say any shape, okay? So what if I wanna, okay, I wanna change that to another color to let you guys know this difference. I wanna move this object on top of that circle, okay? And then I want to select both of these objects. Select both, okay? They're both selected. Now I could right click and then go down to this one will say make clipping mask. It's also over here at the let me see, where is it on top? Let's see. Wait. Oh yeah, over here. It's an object down below, clipping mask and make. Okay, it's faster that you just right click and go to make clipping mask. It's the same thing. Okay, so once you click on it, there you go. Your object is cut to one object on top. Okay, which is the shape, but the circle is still there. Okay, so that's masking. Okay, if you look at the transparency, okay, the gradient, you still have you go to transparency, you can see the object right there. Okay, so that's to cut out an object when you want to fix this. Okay, so what do you, if you want to like return to its original shape, you right click and then there's this release clipping mask. So you want to click that, then the circle will be back again, and then, but the other object will be transparent. So, well, it's not really transparent. It's the object, the line is still there, but there's no color and no outline. So no stroke. So you have to click on the object to give it its color again. So you could actually cut into that shape. Okay. So sometimes when we want to cut shapes, we could use clipping mask to show just what's in the, you know, if we want to, have this shape, you know, not inside the object, but, you know, on the border, select both objects, right click, clipping mask, okay? Not only this area at the side will be cut out, okay? So that's clipping mask. So there's another one that's interesting. It's the other way around. It's called what? Let me take a look. Okay, right click, compound path. Okay, compound path is another way around. Okay, so if we do clipping mask, okay, you will only see the center. Okay, of both objects. Okay, where it meets. Now I want to release clipping mask. Okay, now I want to select both items again. Okay, for example, over here, select both items again. You see, both are selected. See, this area is where both objects intersects. Okay, when it intersects, it's where it has this effect. Okay, now I want to use compound path. Okay, what compound path does is, let's take a look. Okay, it cuts out the middle part of intersection. So that's the other way around. So one is to just have a stuff in the middle. That's clipping mask. Then one is to have two objects intersecting each other, and then to leave the area, to cut out the area in which it's intersected. Okay, so that's when we use compound path. Okay, so there is a difference, just remember, okay? So what if I want to return this to its original shape? Just click, right click again, and then there is a release compound path. Okay, click that, will be two objects again. Okay, so what do we do like when we're dealing with like compound paths? Okay, if we're designing, for example, a logo type, for example, over here. Okay? If I want to design for example, if I want write a letter A, okay, but I want to have a stylus type of a design. So what do? I click and let's like make a bubble-ish type of a design for the letter A. So for example, if I'm designing maybe a logo for somebody, so something like that. Yeah, that's bubbly type of a design, which looks, kind of cute. Yeah, but I want to cut that middle area. It's a letter A. There's a circle or a triangle in the middle. So I want to probably make out another shape in the middle. Okay. Let's not use this tool. Let's go back to that curvature tool. So it's more round, smooth. And let's not make that, a mirror type of a, circle. Let's make that, a specific shape. Okay. So that dot in the middle, right? So for now, you could, okay, this is how you work with compound path. You want to drag and hold and then select both items. Now you want to right click and select compound path, okay? When you do that, you see the circle will be cut out in the middle, okay? Then you'll be able to design a cutout of the letter A. But you could, if you want to do some adjustments to your design, you could still go back and just release compound path, and then maybe move or have another shape. For example, I don't want this shape anymore. I might want a star, for the middle part of my design. Let's put that, a little bit standard to make it, a little bit cuter. So select both objects, right click, make compound path. Okay, so now you dug a hole in the middle of the letter A, right? So that is work with clipping mask and compound path. Okay, so also with the gradient. Okay, and just in case you want to change any like colors on the gradient, you could like select on the object, go to gradient, and then click and drag on the object to. It does not affect the compound path. You could just click and drag on the object, okay? To see also the dots in the middle. You could control its how it the transition between each color. Okay, for example, the orange on top, I could bring it closer. Then the purple, I could bring it also closer, but it's a little bit dirty in the middle, so I want this transition to drag just a little bit toward the, and then the whole gradient I can move to the exact spot that I want. Okay, so that is gradient. But there's another one. Okay, I wanna, since we have time, there's another method in which you can do gradients. It's the gradient tool on the side. Okay, this one which says mesh. Okay, this works a little bit like 3D. Okay, this is if I select on this object. Okay, this tool, for example, and then I won't be able to select it because why not? Because I have a compound path into this object. So first, I probably want to release compound path. Okay, and then select on that object again, and then go to this mesh tool. You select on the mesh tool. Now you're able to click on the object. Okay, for example, if I click over here, what will happen? Okay, notice that everything would like go to default and then turn into black. Okay, so probably that means that this area you want to set a color to that dot over there. Okay, so for example, I probably want a orange type of a color right there. Okay, oops, oh, that's great. Okay, yeah. Oops, now it's probably in If this happens, okay, it means that the coloring transitions are in grayscale. Just go to the color palette and then see now it's in grayscale, right? Go to the hamburger menu and move to the desired color profile. For example, I want to use RGB, okay? So that return to its color form. So I want to click on a second area, probably over here. You see this gradient going on affecting each dot. Okay, so go to probably I want to brighten this up a little bit. So it's more of a 3D effect. So maybe underneath over here, I want this to be a little bit brighter to give that sort of like a reflective type of a color underneath. Yeah, so that's what you could do with this object. But you have to be careful, right? So you could color just the dots, okay? So you could also, like for example, if I have like if I click on the object, you go to the one of the vector points. For example, this one over here. It should be in sort of like a grayish type of color. You can actually manipulate each dot. For example, this one, I want to make this green. See, it's affecting what's between the vector points. For example, I have a green over here. It's dragging to this point, and at this point, it's in black. So if I want to make this also probably green, it'll sort of like blend in with the green. So this one, maybe you want to like have a, the same color as the one on the side. So you could also use an eyedrop tool to, to have that color blend in with that dot. So you can select each dot. Then eyedrop tool to select what color you want to make it blend. So if you look like from far, you'll have like more of a mixed type of a gradient. Okay, by using that mesh tool, sort of like a net. Okay, when you want, wherever you want to have like a transition, you click on that spot, you'll have a vector point, and then you can change a specific color of that vector point. Okay, for example, I don't want all these black, color outside of the of this shape. So I want to zoom in, and for example, select this one, and I probably want this to be RGB and more a bright color on that dot. Okay, it's not changing. What is that? Let me take a look. Okay, for example, this one. Okay, I think because it's too much on the side, you won't be able to see the difference. So, example, that one, yeah, see, now it's changing. See? So on the side, I probably want like something else to, meet the criteria. Okay, so white, and then probably the dots on the side that are affecting the colors, right? Yeah, so that we probably want. So you have to really like work dot by dot, okay? It's time consuming, but you could make realistic objects by using the mesh tool, okay? So I have this star in the middle. I could like select on both of these objects, right click, make, okay, not clipping mask, but compound mask. Okay, hold on. Both objects, okay, right click. Okay, it can only do clipping mask. Let me see, compound path, let me edit, and I mean object, and with a compound path, yeah, you can still make it, right? Yeah, oops. Cannot make compound path, all my objects and compound path must be paths. Okay, you can't do compound mask when your object is in the mesh, when it's in the mesh mode, okay? So, but what if you still want to have this, this shape in the middle? Okay, what can you do? Okay, there's a couple of ways. If you have like a white background, of course you could. The easiest way is to just to make that star white. Okay, but that's not what we want to do. Okay, so I want to cut in on that middle area. Okay, let me try if I could use pathfinding. Okay, so here I have the pathfinder too. Okay, so let's bring that pathfinder out. Let's see, align pathfinder. Let's have everything. Okay, see this pathfinder. Okay, on the lower right. Okay, if it's you can't see it, go to Windows. Oops. Okay, it's a little bit lag on my computer. Hold on. I think I crashed it. Okay, yeah, it's still working. Okay. Go to Windows. Oops, I can't, I won't be, I'm not able to select the Windows. Why not? Let me take a look. It's not working. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter if I'm able to select the, okay, just go to Windows and then look for Pathfinder. Okay, have both selected. And then underneath it says divide. Push that, and then once you push that, right click, and then you could, it's actually in two pieces. It's still into one, why not? Okay, let me take a look. Okay, it's not work with Pathfinder, okay? Okay, so that's, okay, I'll have it figured out. Okay, so, like, how to, you could do creeping mask, that I know. See, creeping mask, it works, okay? Compound fab, I guess compound fab half does not work with, when your object is in the mesh. Okay, so that be careful. But what if I want to dig a hole in the middle of that object? Uh, let me take a look over here. Pathfinder does not work. I'll have it figured out, let you guys know. Okay, so as for now, so gradients can be worked, with the gradient palette, which you can find on the side. Okay, and then there are different types of gradients. See, these two are actually different with the uh, solid color to a orange color, and then you just change the opacity level. Or this one, it looks exact the same, but it's actually different. You see, you have 100% opacity on the orange, 100% opacity on the purple, but it's still giving that transparent look on the orange side. Okay, why is that? Because I use masking on the gradient. Okay, so that is very important. For example, over here, let's dive a little bit more into that. For example, this shape, right, that I have here, and then it has a lot of gradients and stuff. Okay, so let's like make probably a star of some sort like that, and make that star a a gradient, a default gradient, which is black and white, right? So make that black 0 and oops, sorry, 100%, and the white also 100%. So it's just a black white star, right? So a little bit gray in the middle because when it does the transition, it's not really now it's like a little bit darker on the one side to the white, and then I can move the white forward in the middle a little bit to give the edges more white. And I could cut the star X, go to this mesh again, right? But yeah, I'm not able to select it. Oh, why is that? I think it's a little bit on the broken side because I'm not able to select. Yeah, now I could. Okay. Okay, I'm selecting this object and go to transparency. You see on the left, it shows the object. You select on any object on the transparency palette, you can see the left change whatever the object is. Okay. So you want to select on a specific object first, and then you want to go make mask. Everything will disappear, but it's actually still there. Okay, it's just that black you cannot see, white you can see. Okay, so if I have here, if I paste in a gradient star, okay, but now I'm pasting on the object side, so it's actually it replaces the original object. So you have to click on the right side in order to make changes. Okay, remember object mode is on the left, mask mode is on the right. Okay, this is under the transparency palette. Okay, so you want to paste that star. You can see your object right there, right? If you move the star, you can sort of see the shape of the original object. Okay, looks like animation. Okay, yeah, and then go to as for now, you're at mask mode. So this gradient is actually from black to white. Black is where you don't see, white is what you see. So it's the other way around. So black, you don't see, you just have to look at your mask area. The white is what you see. So you see this lower left, you can see the lower left. So up on the right, on the upper right, you can't see because it's a black. So just remember, white you can see, black you don't see. Okay. So of course you can move this around to see what you want. Okay. So this you can make like a specific design. For example, you want to design something like this. If this is like in the middle of some sort. Okay, let's make something complex. Okay, for example, I have here, let's release that mask. Okay, if I have like this object over here, okay, so I want to copy this object and then paste in front. Okay, this is the same object on top, right? So, but for the object on top, I want to make mask. Okay, now I can't see the object. I'm actually viewing the object underneath. Okay, so the object actually is still there, but it's not, you won't be able to see it because everything is black on the mask side. Okay, so now I want to probably make an object, for example, a star. Let's go to that right mask area again, drag a star. Okay, when you drag a star, you see now there'll be like a gradient. White area you can see, black area you cannot see. Okay, so you want to drag that star to a specific area, and then you could make gradients. Okay, of that that shape because like the shape is underneath you have like two of the same shapes. Sorry. Okay. For example, this one, it's like two of the same shapes, right? So you can make like different effects. For example, the one underneath, it could be like in another sort of like a maybe another color of some sort. Okay, so the one on top could still have that shape, its original shape. So I'm gonna click on the object again and move the star, just to see, yeah, this is what I'm going for, right? So you can actually see like part of the designs. Okay. So this way you can see like the object, and then it's cut out by the star, and then it's to reveal its original design, which is the mask, which is the mesh, right? So and then go back to the object, you'll be able to move the object around. It's actually two of the same thing. Okay. So this is like more advanced when you're dealing with, you don't have to do this today because it's like a little bit complicated, but just to give you an idea of how you can design using the gradient tool. Okay, to have like two different objects, uh, you know, overlapping each other, and then doing gradients, then have a cutout in the middle. Okay, so you can do that, right? So it's pretty cool. So of course, the color underneath, you can change to any color that you want and still have the same type of effect. See, I have still the transparent gradient and then the cutout of the star. And then I can still move the star wherever I want. See, it's revealing the object. You can tell by what I'm doing now. You see the star, I can move it all over the place. The area in white, you can see. The area in black, you can't. Right? Of the same object. We could do different designs with this technique. Right? We do complicated designs. So that would be it for the masking and the gradient. Okay? So today I want you to work on, I have here a demonstration, not really a demonstration, but you go to your classroom, which is right there. Go to our assignment or homework, whatever research techniques, okay? Look for, not practice 5, actually. I got the wrong. Practice 4. Okay? You see, what I want you to do is first make out a shape with gradient. One with the color of opacity, 0 opacity, which is this one over here on top. Yeah, this one over here. Oops. Yeah, this one. Let's go back to object role again. Have it remove this one. You see gradient 0 and then 100%. And then the second one, I want you to make a gradient but with masking. Okay, gradient masking. Okay, so that's the second one I want you to make. Okay, and then I want you to mask a shape. For example, just maybe a circle with maybe any type of a shape, and then drag it to make it a clipping mask. Okay, make a specific clipping with the clipping mask functionality. Okay, so just these 3. Well, I mean 4. Okay, let's make another one. Let's also make a gradient mesh. Okay, which is this object over here. Sorry, and another one. For example, this one, this letter A. Yeah, because we have compound path. Let's also do that. So let's probably like make a star, then have it both selected, and let's make a compound path. Sorry. I won't be able to use this because it's like all dotted. let's like make another object again. Sorry, apple here. Just any shape that's similar to our original A. Let's put that underneath. Have that star on top. Then I want to dig a hole through that object. So that's compound path. Okay. So, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objects you have to do today. Okay. So, 2 gradients, 1 clipping mask, 1 gradient mesh, and 1 compound path. Okay. So, I'll have like this fixed. So, let's make that 4 object using compound path. And then the other one, gradient object using gradient mesh, gradient mesh tool. Okay. Yeah, so there are 5 tasks today. Okay. Not really hard if you know how to do it. And I want to like let's export this demonstration which I have here. Let me like zoom out a little bit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objects to let you guys practice a little bit. File. Hey, I won't be able to exit. Why is that? Okay, there's something wrong with the buttons on top. I won't be able to. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, a little bit odd, but it's working. Export as PNG for me. Okay, but please give me PDF. Okay, so this one is practice. Oh, oops, spell it wrong. Practice 04. 04. Okay. No transparency, but it's good enough. Okay, there you go. So let's upload that. Scenario, and please do accordingly. Okay, right there. Oops, spelled it wrong. So we have like 88 in my class. Wow, that's a lot. All right. Okay, so, one turned in already. You are so fast. Yeah, it's actually if you have like experiences with Illustrator, you know what to do. Okay, so this is like it's if you like pay attention to what I just said, or you have experiences with Illustrator, you know what to do. Okay, some might have like issues or with figuring out the transparent masking area, but yeah, you just like play around with it to see what's going on. If you have any issues, have any problem, uh, working on it, let me know. Let me help you. Okay, you can come to me. I'll show you how I do it. Okay. Yeah, it's like if you could just work on our practice for the rest of the course, or uh, take a break for 10 minutes, come back and work on it. Yeah.
是这样子做。
对啊。
哦，就是按这个那个，嗯，
看怎么样？
是用这个，
看到。
这个吗？电力电池。
我看一下哦哈，有一点像哦，对，可是不是这个，
对，因为刚刚没
这
看。
里这个啦。
哦。
然后你要有一个，再按一下，它就会有一个点。
哦。
那这个点你就可以去换颜色，颜色就可以去换，然后它就会变成这样渐层这样。那你按，比如说我这里要有一个点，按一下，可是它是十字的，所以它旁边都会一定会有相对应的点会产生这样。好，
谢谢。
好。Oh yeah, by the way, this is for I forgot to talk about this slide. A little bit addition information about mesh. Yeah, you got a mesh on the different color gradients, right? Actually, if you use the direct selection tool, how could I forget this? Okay, you could actually click on each dot and then move the dot. You could actually do that. Okay, and then see the bridge, the lever on the side of the dot. You can also like turn the lever to make the gradient turn to a different uh, different sort of blend. Okay, so you can actually move dots in the mesh and then move the lever to change the blending. Okay, so you can play around with it. So actually, you can actually make realistic objects when you're dealing with like meshes. Okay, so it works a little bit like 3D, but it's not. Okay, so use direct selection tool to make adjustments to your vector points. Okay, so it's actually like blending color between one vector point to the other vector point. Okay, so that's all it is. So the more points you have, the more blend you have for each vector point. So that's it. Okay. Yeah, on the mesh side and on the masking, I think for those of you who are new with vector graphics, will be a little bit hard to understand. But yeah, just do a little practice, find out how it works. Once you have a hang of it, it's not that hard. 啊，第五个是那个啦，哎，挖洞有了嘛？对对对对 ，OK。Sorry, I made a mistake. Okay, it's actually 3 and 5 is the same thing. Okay, so use mask on the shape. Use compound mask on the shape. Okay, no, it's not the same thing. Okay, okay. No, no. Sorry, you got me messed up. So if you're done, you're free to go. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll put to you and see how I can fix your issues. Okay. So oh yeah, to show your attendance. Okay. So please log in Google Meet to show your attendance. Yeah. Yeah, we do this every time. Okay. So once you prove your attendance and you have done your practice of the day, you're free to leave. Okay. You have like 10 minutes anyway. So although it seems complicated, um, it's not that complicated. But I know some of you might be using other softwares as like Affinity Designer or other, vector graphics software. If the functionality is not there, just don't worry about it. Okay, do what you can. Okay. Oh.
Midterms.
That-
Midterms.
Oh, midterms. Oh, not yet. I'll do announce on the,
Oh, you send on the Google first.
yeah, I'll,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.